Watch Who?
Hello.
And welcome to Two Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
And welcome back, everybody. We're having a bit of a chat about Doctor Who, like we always do. Maybe a few other things.
Yeah.
I haven't got an intro this week, that's why I'm
You're just starting with that.
Just a general chat. It's been a little while since we actually recorded in recording land.
But we've met up between.
Yes. So we recorded quite a few in advance, didn't we? So last week was the two-parter, but that was ages ago for us.
Yeah.
And
in our life, it was a while ago. To you listeners, it's been a week.
So, well, last time, okay, first off, I said I was going to meet Billie Piper and have a photo. And I know you're all dying to know how that went. Well, it didn't, because she cancelled. Of course she cancelled. She cancelled on the Sunday at Wales Comic Con, which was the day I was going.
Yeah.
So that was a shame. I just felt the moment was right, especially us doing series 2 and stuff. I was like, this is the time. It just felt so right.
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to happen. I'll keep an eye out for her. That Comic Con, it was like it's massive. It's up near Celtic Manor, that's where Obama went when he visited Wales, wasn't he? It was that. It was a big conference centre up there. So I'm happy to report, though, it was very well organised.
I should hope so.
Which you would think so, yes. I walked in and there's a huge, I've never seen it. It was like bigger than a cinema screen, I swear. It was a massive screen and it had all the schedule on it, like the biggest like the Times were like as big as me. It was like video screens everywhere, I swear.
That's cool.
Like, all the timings, everything. There were so many different like food places, loads of places to sit.
Oh, amazing.
No massive queues, tons of volunteers, people knowing exactly where to direct people. And I know it's a bigger one and they've probably got more resources, but just saying, some of the smaller ones, just have a look at that template. Just have a look at that event template. You know?
That's all Mark will say.
We did watch... Oh, by the way, everyone, it's Love and Monsters this week. I have to say that, getting carried away. We watched this one in person.
We did. So I was away and Mark came down early and stopped at mine before I got back. And then I missed my train, didn't I? So I got back really late. So I got back at like midnight, didn't I?
You did,
Mark had to wait up for me to get back.
I was in bed.
Mark was in bed, yeah. I could disturbed him. And then the next night we watched Love and Monsters.
Love and Monsters in person, a very divisive episode. But more importantly, well, not more importantly, but, well, actually, yes, more importantly, after Love and Monsters, one, we had a nice curry.
Yeah, we did. We had a great curry.
Lovely curry.
Shout out to Salcara in Cardiff.
What did I have? Because you sort of ordered it for me.
Well, yeah, you wanted a korma. I went, they don't do a korma. You can have a tikka. And you went, okay.
That was it. Yeah, it just happened. I was like, I didn't even look at the menu. It just got ordered for me. I got told what I was having.
And then I was supposed to order, because there was 3 of us. And I was supposed to order another rice, and I accidentally put another naan on it. I don't know. Basically, we ended up sharing one rice between 3 of us.
It's not a Two Watch Who watch without something going wrong with the takeaway.
And it was me. I looked at it, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, this is my fault. This is not the restaurant, this is me.
So after our curry, we then watched a classic episode. We went back, everybody.
Yeah.
To well, this was Sarah's choice. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea and no suggestion of this at all. And what did you put on?
Keys of Marinus.
The Keys of Marinus. Which is the only classic story. I think one... Well,
this was my 3rd watch of it.
The 3rd watch.
In, 6 years? 5, 6 years?
Yes. Well, the funny thing is, though... Put it on and we're like, oh my God, Keys of Marinus. We love it. Out of his trousers.
I had to sort of explain, because we started on episode 2. We started on episode 2. So we watched it with my partner. So I have to do some sort of back check here. So me and him had watched, what had we watched? Because I don't even know. But he told you what we'd watched. The double one before that.
Oh, so you both would watch Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel.
Right. So we'd watched that. And I said to him, have you watched any classic Who? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, well, gotta watch Keys of Marinus. He was like, do I? And I was like, yes. I put on the first episode of Keys of Marinus. So, we're going right back. So we're going to the series 1. We're in the 60s. And I'm like, gotta watch this. And what I sort of forget is, after watching something like that, is just how, disorientating it is. Because we literally finish watching it. You're on the high of watching, an epic story, of I'm talking siege, everything. And then you go into that first episode of the Keys of Marinus, which, and I hold my hands up to this, it's been so long. I've forgotten how...
It's not the best first episode.
It's terrible. And I just completely forgot. It's so slow. And it is just them exploring its glass. And I was kind of apologizing for it. I was like, it is a bit like this. It's awful. You'd miss that because I'd sort of done this and he was like, right, well, thanks for that. And I was like, no, but this is such a good story. And then I started doubting myself. Is this a good story? Like, have I misremembered it? Is it just because it was this golden time for us? Because it's been so long since, and even the last time I watched it, we were still in the late 60s, 70s, weren't we?
Oh, 60s.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time since I've watched the Keys of Marinus. So new here, and I can't even remember. I must have said, oh yeah. So we'd obviously just finished watching this. We were talking about it, and then I said, well, we started watching the Keys of Marinus, and I went, let's just do it. I just can't put it on. And I genuinely also thought that it was 4 episodes.
I know, it went on. We watched the 5 episodes, and you were like, there's another episode? You were like, you totally forgot it was 6 episodes.
So I thought that we were just going to be watching 3, which would have been an hour. So I subjected the poor man to 5 more episodes, which he did enjoy. He did enjoy it because it does pick up.
Like that episode 2 with Barbara and Altos comes in and Sabita and everything.
Yeah.
And it does change every episode, doesn't it? So it mixes it up a bit.
That second episode, first episode we watched, but the second episode, it's already a pickup from that first episode, let me tell you that. And we were trying to explain, this is a Terry Nation thing. It's always an explore to be. I'm literally trying to justify it. It really does pick up the story, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. Episode 2 is actually my favourite of all of Keys of Marinus.
Really?
Yeah.
What, with the jars?
With the jars. I love, the brains in jars and just that perspective with Barbara and I just appreciate the way it's made as well because they had to stop filming on cut back and forth and all of that stuff.
I love the trial. For me, it's the trial.
I've forgotten a bit about the trial. Yeah, I do love... we just love all of it, don't we?
We love all of it. We love all of it. Because that's the thing as well. And we were going for them. We're like, oh yeah, tiny hands. We've got tiny hands coming up. I was like, and then we go to the trial and I forgot about it. And then suddenly I was like, oh my gosh, no, we've got the man now. And he was like, no spoilers, no spoilers.
The man in the shed in the snow.
Man in the shed in the snow. It's like, no spoilers. And then the trials are 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
And then they go back to Marinus and have to go and see the Vord again in the... Yeah.
So it does... But, it is good, but I did forget that it was a 6-episode story. I genuinely thought it was 4.
So that was that. Yeah, that was really great watching that.
It was. It just went on because I forgot.
I'm sure I need to remember there were some stories you said for a first timer watching classic. These are the ones, but I can't remember what they were.
I can't remember.
Maybe you should try different doctors. You should do Patrick Troughton one next.
If you're listening to this, which I'm sure you are, it's coming.
And I recommend. Well, I would say The Mind Robber. It's a bit out there though.
Oh, would you?
Well, it's only 4, and actually, it's 5 with Rapunzel. You love Rapunzel.
I do love Rapunzel.
That's 5 episodes. Well, a lot are missing, aren't they? Or maybe 2 in the Cybermen.
I don't think you can do a missing. I think that's the beauty of the Keys of Marinus. It's all there as well.
I think either Mind Robber or you do the Web of Fear, the Underground, and you've got that weird CGI animation one halfway through. But that's 6. I think Mind Robber would be a fun one to do.
He can now say he's watched a classic Who. And not only that, a series 1 classic Who.
Yeah, that is right at the beginning. That is early on.
Right at the beginning. We did start very briefly. Did we watch it? I can't remember. Did we do it?
Oh, we showed a clip of Planet of Giants.
Yes, we did show. I was trying to remember if we did that or not. We did show a clip of Planet of Giants.
Oh, I should have done
he
that.
was like, "Oh, they do forced perspective." And we were like, "No, they made sets.
They made a big plug hole."
Yeah,
That's only 3 episodes, actually.
Yeah,
I should have done that one.
Probably should have done that instead. It was really nice watching Keys of Marinus.
Yeah, it's just that sort of relax, especially like nighttime with some food. Like just watching sort of a black and white. It's just a slower pace. You can just chill out. I find it relaxing watching 60 stories.
I had forgotten. Like, I think once you get through that first episode, if you are introducing someone to it, you've just got to bear through that first episode.
It's just that, those doors.
I think you can get your giggles out with it because it is so hammy. And I'd sort of forgotten how hammy it feels.
It's really bad. I mean, they have like half a corridor and a fold out flippy bit of door, which they have to all use.
Yeah. And like, there'll be bits where there's obviously someone there and they're all doing their hammy acting like they can't see them because it's so small. The set is so small. But what was interesting, because obviously you hadn't seen that reaction, what I'd had. So and he couldn't get over the forest. Do you remember? He was like, where have we got this jungle? But that's because that first episode is so warm. And then suddenly the forest, and we they love a forest. It's a great forest. Forests and caves, they do really well.
As a contrast, actually, a really good one, which is on everyone's list for New Who, John Pertwee's first one, The Dummies, which is all on film and stuff. That is a completely different kind of feel, isn't it, that one? Be interesting to see.
Is a good one. I think, actually thinking about it, is Second Doctor. The one when he's when he plays 2 characters.
Oh, Enemy of the World. Oh my God. Because, that's 6. And who, that couple, Colin and Mary in the basement. Remember?
Yeah.
We loved Colin and Mary.
We love Colin and Mary. But Enemy of the World would be a good one.
That is a very good one, yeah.
Because Enemy of the World as well, I'm sure, didn't he have the
they were on the
hover. The one where he says, nothing in the world can. No, what's the one where he says, no.
Oh, that's Faceless Ones. That's a Polly one. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
You don't know. Enemy of the World is, hey, Bruce. What you doing here, Bruce? That one.
I just remember his fantastic acting, like Patrick Troughton's amazing acting.
That is a good one, yeah. And so many to choose from, yeah.
And I'm sure there's a helicopter scene.
Oh, there's a massive helicopter, yeah.
Not Maria.
Faria. Faria.
Thank you, Faria. It wasn't Maria, it was Faria. Faria.
Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, there we go. This is the Too What She recap podcast.
Unintentionally, but that is what happened.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really nice to do. That was great. And then the next day we looked around to Cardiff at some locations. Some sort of New Who locations that are in the immediate area. So we did a little video for our Patreons, which at the time of recording, I haven't actually finished yet. But I did realise when I was putting it together, we did a little intro being like, hi, everyone, we're going to go around some locations. And we went round and we didn't do it. It just stops. We didn't do an ending. We didn't say goodbye. So I'm sorry about that, everyone. But it was a really hot day walking around Cardiff.
Hot. It was like during this heat wave. It was so
hot. And then we just came back and we were just so exhausted. We just stopped.
Yeah. Well, there's also 2 sides to this, because there's the parts that were filmed right where I live and Mark walking around with a selfie stick, and what you see is me getting more and more pissed off that Mark is walking around with a selfie stick.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
I've talked to several people about this that know you, and they were like, Mark had a selfie stick?
Well, no, it was just because I was filming on my phone and it's just easier than holding it out. And can I just say, some of those shots, it looks like there's a drone following us. It's so smooth. It looks like a drone shot from a real life documentary.
Yeah, but I live here, Mark.
Shots. It looks amazing.
Yeah, but I live here. And like Mark's walking around the street, just being like, hey guys. So again, also Mark couldn't flip it around. So there's like weird things of him trying to turn around with his selfie stick.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But I was like, yeah, there was one bit I was like, I live round here. Like, he was like, right, go back to this water tower. Now they've turned it on. I was like, no.
My favourite bit is I'm like, oh my god, everyone, breaking news, the water tower's just switched on. Anyway, it came out really well with some great shots.
And then there's the second part when we've gone back to mine for a break from the heat, to be honest. It was so hot. Went back and had water and stuff. And Mark has abandoned the selfie stick.
Actually, it still came out quite smooth, the shots. I'm quite surprised.
Fine.
I'm quite surprised, but I think a selfie stick I know, I just realised no one uses them anymore, do they?
Well, tourists do.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, but I live here. Okay. You lived here.
Okay. Anyway, it was a good trip. Right, we should talk about Love and Monsters.
Yeah, which we watched a week ago now.
So it was a week ago. So good luck, everyone.
Ropey.
Quite a divisive episode, I would say, between fans. I think you either love it or you don't. I think some fans think all Doctor Who should be like last week, like the Satan Pit. And it should be like that every week. It should be like scary and spacey and creepy and all of that. And other fans are a bit more sort of open-minded at the sort of different things you could do with Doctor Who and different stories you can tell. And also, this is a sort of the first Doctor Lite episode that they call it. With Christopher Eccleston, obviously, I think they learnt their lessons with the schedule and they were working out how, and obviously it wasn't a great time for everybody with sort of being overworked. And they're doing a Christmas special every year as well, so they've got to fit in. They're making like 14 episodes a year, which, I mean, golden times. What do they do? Shooty had 8 episodes a year, and out of his, I mean, he did 2 lots. I mean, they did those 2 series back to back, so that's like what? So like 16 episodes with like Christmas and stuff. Out of those 16 episodes, there are about 3 that are Dr. Light out of Shooting Outlaws. So to cope with all of that, I mean, you could only dream about making this many episodes of Doctor Who this time, but they got around it. So they're filming the Satan Pit ones at the same time as this. So that's why David Tennant and Billie Piper have like one day on set on this, and that's about it. And it's the last one they filmed for this series as well. But out of necessity comes really good stuff. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought then. I thought
you came out with that sentence, yeah.
There's definitely a real life saying about that. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is sorry.
What are you trying to say, Mark?
I'm saying they had to find a way to get around the Doctor and Rose not being in it, and this is the result. Love and Monsters.
That's what it did. It went, Rah! And if you think that was the most exciting day of my life, wait till you hear the rest.
I mean, what did you think initially of like the setup? I mean, you didn't realise it was a Dr. Light episode, I guess.
No, I didn't. Well, no, not at all to begin with. I mean, look, I actually quite enjoyed it. And we had a brief conversation about this, so it won't be too much of a surprise because obviously we were together when we watched it. But just for listeners, like, I feel like it was made silly because it's a kids' show, and I feel like the director got this script and was like, I'm going to make this light. And I'm going to make this lighthearted. But there's that first scene, really early first scene, where he comes in and then the Doctor and Rose and the monster are running back and forth in different directions. And it sets a really weird tone. And I know you said to me, like, oh, well, it's supposed to be from his perspective. It's supposed to be what his memory of it is. But I just didn't feel it matched to what his memory of what he's talking about is. I just felt like it was done to be silly. We've had really good stories last season, that have had real good, strong impact for just telling the story. Like, look at the one with Rose's dad, that are just really just good stories and like have real emotional impact. Or the one with the Victorian, the war one, and it turned out that she was, you don't need it to be that. You don't need it to sort of play down. I really liked the story being from a character's perspective and not like from Doctor, from Rose, or from, another companion. I liked it. It was just this person who's seen all this stuff that we've been seeing, right? And just a normal person and who's been affected by this stuff and been impacted in some way. And I think that would have been a really cool story to tell, but seriously.
Well, yeah, it sort of jumps from one thing to another because there is an emotional story within there about his mother and everything, and he does keep going back to that. Yeah, it's the tone of it which I didn't like when I first initially watched this. I know what you mean, but I think I thought it was trying to be because he's telling that story back. You don't really know exactly if he's telling the full truth or not about everything. You could sort of take your own conclusions from it, which is why you get that Scooby-Doo moment, because he's trying to explain back about this crazy thing happened and you saw this monster and the Doctor and Rose running around, they were chasing around. I take that didn't actually happen that way. He's just making that an exciting story to tell the viewers, to tell the audience. So I think that's how I have taken it, to be directed in that way.
And I get that, but I feel like it almost takes something away from, because it's almost too silly.
I think you need something like, especially if the Doctor and Rose aren't there, you need something else. Like, I think if he was just like, it was a serious story the whole time.
Well, I don't think it needs to be serious. I think like I liked when he was like talking like, oh, you're not gonna. We've had these we've had these hints of these sort of that come across at these eccentric characters who have met the Doctor, and now they're like the conspiracy theorists online, and it just that in itself is enough. Are we watching? We've had these already because Rose and what's his name were looking out for them.
But I wonder if it was just to help sort of keep the attention, because we have to get used to this new character of Elton. And there's the bits where he's talking. There's the bits where he's talking to the camera and he's like, and then it cuts to like a scene that we haven't seen yet, and it cuts back and he's like, oh, we're not there yet, that kind of thing. I think that's a deliberate thing just to keep our interest. Otherwise, he is just talking into that video camera. And we don't see everything sort of linear necessarily.
I don't think it was needed. I don't think like a 2-minute running back and forth gag, like we're in a Carry-On film, was needed. And also, like, the other big thing is when I saw the spoiler of the next episode and saw that Peter Kay was in it, I genuinely thought Peter Kay was going to play it for laughs as a character. And he really didn't.
Well, you see, okay, here we go. I'm not the greatest fan of Peter Kay, so I wasn't excited at the time. I'm still not. Do you know who was a fan of Peter Kay?
Who?
Ross. Which I was trying to think.
I never liked Ross, but I like Ross now.
I was trying to think, when was Peter Kay like really famous? Because I haven't seen Ross.
He still is. He sold out like every month.
Yeah, but back in like 2000,
last year.
Yeah, but are we talking like 2003? Was he famous?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when I remember Ross like quoting Peter Kay.
It's a good period of time because we're talking. Well, when was Phoenix Nights on TV?
Oh, of course, that would have been on around that time. He would have been a fan of that.
You've got Phoenix Nights. You've got Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere. You've got Last Night. When did he do Is This Way to Amarillo?
Oh, that was a bit late. Oh no, 2000 and around this time, either just before or just after this.
Because I feel like there's one. Is This the Way to Amarillo? That was. Hang on.
He's definitely a big name around the time.
2005 was Amarillo.
Okay, so this is.
And he's already a big name by then.
So this is 2006.
When was he on Parkinson? Peter Kay, Parkinson. He was on the last Parkinson.
Oh, that would have been much later on. Much later.
When did Parkinson? That's 2007.
Okay.
So he was on last Parkinson, and he was Parkinson's warm-up man.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know. I've just never been a fan, but to be fair, I have not really watched much of his stuff either. Anyway, I'm not excited about it. Watching this, and I haven't watched this one tons and tons. I was surprised he wasn't actually in it that much.
No.
When you put it all together, I was expecting him to be in it a bit more. I mean, he has said since it was the worst thing he's ever done. And I think he knows the fan opinion of him in it.
Yeah.
So he has said, so he is aware. I thought he was playing it a little bit over the top.
I don't think he will. I think he's something sinister. Look, it's kind of like all the other baddies we've had this season. But he's not playing it Peter Kay over the top at all.
He's still playing it a little bit funny though, isn't he?
No.
He is about the, don't touch me.
Oh no, I thought no, that would have been a lot more like it would have been much more dramatic. It wasn't. It was more like don't touch me. I'm not. I thought he played it actually quite serious for Peter Kay.
I mean, they're all slightly caricature-y people in Linda and everything.
Well, this is the thing, they all kind of are. Like, all of those characters are very, in themselves, a bit of a caricature.
Yeah, so he fits within that group.
For what his entire outfit and persona is, I actually was surprised how over the top he performed.
The golden age was gone.
So, we meet at last. Linda.
Pleased to meet you, sir. I'm sorry, was the music too loud?
No, I don't shake hands. Back. I suffer from a skin complaint. Eczema.
Oh, you mean eczema?
Oh, this is worse. Much worse. A blister to the touch.
Back, all of you, further.
Thank you.
Yeah, because like the outfit, he's like, sort of like gangstery.
Yeah, but again, when he becomes a monster later, it's big and northern and brash, but then you expect that because he's become a big ugly monster that's running down the street. Do you know, that what it becomes after is exactly what you expected it to be.
I think
and he completely committed to it.
Oh yeah, he went for it.
Exactly what you want.
Yeah, he absolutely went for it. Yeah,
I thought he was going to be really. Did you ever watch when he did? It had a real name, Pop Idol Best. Blah, 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 the
the Pop Idol sort of.
Yeah,
thing,
and he played that Genevieve or whatever.
I know who you mean. It was. I can't remember the name. Yeah.
Well, you know who I mean.
Yeah.
And when he plays that sort of character and he's like that, I thought that he'd play it like that. You know what I mean?
If you compare it to things like that, then yes, it's very underplayed.
And also, he's done. He's been in The Producers.
Oh right.
And he played Roger Debris.
I don't know who that is.
You do know who Roger? Yeah, you would. It's the one. Do you know?
I've not seen it.
Oh, then you won't. You won't. He sings the song "Keep It Happy, Keep It Clappy, Keep It Gay." I'll send you a clip,
Okay.
and then I'll send you the one. But he plays Roger Debris.
Right. Oh well, so he's very talented.
Yeah.
But I just haven't.
When you see Roger Debris as a character, you can imagine Peter Kay doing it. You're like, I can imagine Peter Kay doing that, which is why when I saw that's exactly as I imagined Peter Kay doing this, and I was so surprised. I was like, this is so toned down. Like, I cannot tell you how toned down it felt for Peter Kay.
Well, we have our group of characters, Linda.
Yeah.
We get together, talk about they're trying to find the Doctor. I mean, there is the parallel of it's a group of Doctor Who fans. Which I think some fans have probably taken against as well, which they don't like this representation of them. And Peter Kay is another fan that comes in and takes over the group and might be based on some well-known fans. I don't know if that's official or not. Did you enjoy sort of seeing that stuff? It builds, doesn't it? They get to know each other, and then they sort of they're all there for that.
It does become a community,
yeah.
And that's kind of what. That's nice. That's kind of what it was about. And
it's a Doctor Who convention.
Yeah, but they become wider than that. They end up singing songs together. They become about other things beyond the Doctor. Sometimes I think Doctor Who fans struggle to connect beyond, but
just going back to the beginning, we see Elton, played by Mark Warren, who at the time when we were watching, I insisted had been in New Tricks.
Oh yeah, we were watching this. I rolled at that. I was like, "What has he been in?" And Mark he went, "Oh, he's been in." Yeah, but what's he been in? Mark went, "New Tricks," and I burst out laughing. I was like, "Mark, New Tricks is 3 old men," and then he went, "I've not even watched New Tricks." I was like, "You've not even watched the show."
Okay, so
man has not been in New Tricks.
He's been in a lot of like BBC dramas. Do you know what I was thinking of? I looked it up. It was Hustle. Thinking of he's been in Hustle, which is
not New Tricks.
In my mind is the same as it's like Crime and People on BBC. That's what I was thinking of.
Crime on BBC.
So it's Mark Warren, who's a great actor, who's been in lots of things.
He's really good in it.
And he is running a location watch here, everyone. Well, first off, he's running along down the bay, which is all like warehouses and stuff, which I think is now all rebuilt now with the BBC stuff.
It's all studios. We've run down there.
And we have, when we did the half marathon?
No, we did. It was a Cardiff 5 mile. We did it as a warm up.
That was our first one. Yeah, a little
which doesn't exist anymore. That race
round the bay, and that bit where Elton's running along those warehouses was like halfway through, and it was quite a hot day, and it was really like it was desolate, like it is on screen when we were running down there. And it just seemed like no hope, and we needed water, and we were just so tired.
The 3rd mile, and like there's no people there. So normally when you're doing these races, there's like people around, the route. Yeah. But they don't do that 5 mile anymore. It's a 10K now. Anyway, that's by the by. But we did this 5 mile as a warm up. Like we did it as an early race to prepare us like for race feel, ready for when we did the half marathon. Yeah. Which I didn't end up doing, but that's another story.
Was this the one where, was it you? Where we were like, all right, we'll take a pace, we'll all stick together. And we went, and then Ruth just went, and just went off without us all. We were running.
Ruth signed up that day as well. She signed up that day. She said, I haven't done much running. And then she was, and we're like, all right, we'll all stick together. And she was off.
And she was off, yeah. And then I just remembered that was the struggling. Those warehouses, that was the struggle.
Yeah, that was around like the 3.5 mile mark where you've nobody there. And it's just miserable and it was really open. So there was no wind or anything that day. So it was just hot with no support. So we're just all running. Normally you have people around being like, woo, yeah, keep going. When you're doing the half, at least, there's people around being like, yeah, keep going. You're doing great. There was no one. It was just, and you were like, oh my gosh, this is miserable.
So flashbacks there, watching the beginning of Love and Monsters.
Yeah, it too. I was running along that and being like, oh. And then you're sort of coming in, and then people are like, the finish line's just down there, and you're like, yeah, let's
go. But the other location we see, in where Linda meets, people will recognise probably the sort of the lift doors, those slidey lift, old-fashioned lift doors where they're in that room. They're the ones that I mentioned, when I worked at Woolworths, I kept getting the electric shock. Yeah, it's those ones. Oh, horrible. That is now in Cardiff. I don't know if it was then or not. But that is a big warehouse, different floors, all exactly the same like that with the lift, which is an antique centre, Jacobs Antiques.
I reckon it was still Jacobs Antiques.
So I think it was the antiques. Yeah, maybe it was the antique centre above. And this looks like they used the basement.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of antique. They'd have to clear a whole antique centre to film in there. And I don't know if they would have done that. It's been a little bit redeveloped over there because we had a little wander, didn't we, the next day and had a look around. So the bit where the Absorbaloff runs down, sort of that back alley and everything, that's all been redone, so you can't see that, but you do recognise when they're walking supposedly like out of the bit where Linda meet and everything, that is just along the side of Jacobs Antiques now. That's recognisable. So it's always shut, Jacobs Antiques, like hardly ever open, so it was shut when we went past, isn't it? But it's a great place. It
is a cool place. They do events
on the roof, don't they?
On the roof every like Friday night and Saturday.
Yeah, so lots of like recognisable locations here. And where they sit on the park bench, that is a main park in Cardiff. I can't remember which one it is. We should have checked that.
Yeah, I was trying to work it out when we were watching. This is a problem. When you watch it, I spend a lot of time I look at things and go, where's that? And it's 20 years ago as well.
So it is starting to change now.
That's what we realised when we were walking around. I mean, like, also, it was really depressing when we did our walk around.
Yeah. Actually, while we're talking about locations, there was a question from Lucas about when we watch this.
Yeah.
And obviously it's all supposed to be set in London.
Yeah.
Do you think of it as London, or can you just see Cardiff?
I just see Cardiff. There's sometimes where it is really obviously being London and like it's London.
But most of the time it's supposed to be London.
I mean, there was that scene, wasn't there? And I said to you, I was like, that's literally around the back of my flat here.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be in the centre of London. And I was like, I literally live like 45 seconds away from
that. Sorry, just did a big gasp. Sorry. But does it take you out the story?
Sometimes. In like when you spot something or you spot someone you know.
I mean, it doesn't take me completely out the story. I mean, I'm just like, oh, that's there. And in my mind, I can see them filming. But in terms of story, I can still just get on with it.
In the same way, like when I watched Wicked, right? And I went to see Wicked, and the guy that sings "No one mourns the wicked," that was my friend. And very briefly, I went, "That's my friend James," and every time I still do the same thing, but it doesn't take me out of the entire film, just for that brief moment. But I'm still involved in the rest of the film. I'm still in it, just recognizing something or someone and being like, oh, and that was it. That is a prime moment where it's supposed to look. And actually, when you look at it, I was like, I completely see why they've chosen that as like a central London spot. I mean, even when we were walking down, I was looking around thinking like, yeah, I can see a location person walking around thinking this will work for London. And you said, oh, this comes up quite a bit. You'll get used to it.
Oh, yeah. And they use, part of it is they use the same places again and again.
Yeah.
You do get to recognise,
but
even within...
me spotting that, I was like, what did it was a sign in the background that is still there 20 years later.
Yeah, some things don't change. Some things don't change.
There is still that same sign in the background, and that's what I spotted. And then suddenly the rest of the scene. And then there's a few things that they've CGI'd, whatever. CGI'd? What's the word? CGI'd, thank you. CGI'd in. Like they put like some London things, in the background to make it look like London. But I was like, that is literally 45 seconds away from where I live. That is so close. So good luck to anyone finding exactly where I live based on that, because there's loads of places around here. But I was like, that is so close. It's untrue.
Yeah. Back to Love and Monster story then. Yeah. So they're sort of being picked off one by one. And the idea of Peter Cave's character is he is actually an alien. He's an Absorbaloff. So this was from a Blue Peter Designer Monster competition. So this was the winning entry, the final version.
You did say this when we were watching, yeah.
So that's quite fun that it was from like a kid's idea. Yeah, because you said
that the kid was like, it's not quite what I expected.
Well, I think the kid was... apparently the kid expected it to be like the size of a bus and was like, it's good, but it's not the size that I imagined. So, I mean, that's great because back in the 60s, they did a design, like Patrick Troughton helped judge it. I mean, they didn't put it in the show, but there's a clip, there's photos and stuff of him judging the Designer Monster competition. So it's good that, Blue Peter has always been part of Doctor Who.
Absolutely. That's why Mark watches Newsround.
Blue Peter.
Yeah. I thought you... Oh, yo.
Oh, no, I haven't watched Newsround for a while. I'm watching Blue Peter.
If I need book recommendations for school, I ask Mark, because Mark watches Blue Peter.
It's the Blue Peter book club, yeah. It's great.
If I ever need suggestions, I ask Mark. Mark knows.
Although I don't know if anybody is watching Blue Peter at the moment. I doubt any of our listeners are. I was so shocked. 2 of the presenters are going out with each other.
Did they have to tell the kids or something?
No, I don't know. It was just on one of their Instagrams. I sort of put it together. They're an item. They weren't a while back when they started. They've got together. Oh. Yeah. It's a surprise. Yeah, I don't know if they've addressed it on screen. I don't think they have. Anyway. So what do you think of the actual, monster then, and the way, because the faces, he sort of absorbs them, and the face, it's got an original idea. We haven't had anything like it.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, and I like that it's come from look, again, this is a B story. This isn't your A story. We've talked about these. You have to have your B stories.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's more of a B story than the Idiot's Lantern, I think.
And
I mean, and
also what I like is, for me, it's a B story, but there's some elements to it that I really enjoyed. One being the sort of normal person perspective of how they've been impacted by the Doctor, Rose, and their place in this world.
But also when we get
someone else in this world living their life.
But when we get Jackie in it as well, you see the impact that she's had.
I mean, absolutely.
It's had on her. I mean,
and just Jackie, and just Jackie trying to live her life and wondering, and just Jackie going about her day.
I think it'll be a very different story without. I think you needed Jackie in there and that familiarity that we have.
Roots it. It kind of really roots the story, and him trying to bond with Jackie. And I like then as well, you get that initial, I'm gonna, and then he forms a friendship with her. And
I mean, I'm more invested in the bit with Jackie and Elton and their friendship and how that's working.
Yeah.
Rather than with like Bliss and all the others. I don't really care about them. It's not like, something's up when they get absorbed and stuff, and that's just them. I didn't feel that emotional moment with any of that lot. It was towards the end. It was the bit where, when Jackie finds the picture of Rose in his jacket and stuff and confronts him, that kind of stuff. That was more interesting for me. And then what about the actual story? That we keep having these flashbacks that Elton's seen the Doctor when he was young and is looking up, and there's that sort of ominous, he's standing in the living room, and then it turns out that that's the day that his mother died.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a kind of a serious story in a way, and someone dealing. That's what I mean. I just felt like it didn't need a lot of silliness.
And then obviously the Doctor and Rose just turn up and sort it all out. Oh, we get a bit of ELO in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and you also slowly get to know who this person is. I know what you're saying about the group. I think you needed to have that time with the group so you have some impact when they start getting absorbed. Because if you don't have that and you don't understand who, you don't see them connect and gel when they have slowly gone and got absorbed, you don't realize the impact for you as a viewer. But also when they try and help him. You need to see that they've bonded, that they are going, they start to try and save him, and otherwise they're just people, aren't they?
I think with all of the characters though, we always have our favourite side characters of the week and all of that kind of stuff, and there's always those ones that we really want to see again and everything, and could have their own series. I don't know, like Miss Hawthorne or something. I can't think of anyone immediately.
There was no one here that I felt that, and
none of those
played too silly. But I think it was just played too silly. I think it was
because none of those I could see having their own spin-off episode or wanting to see what happens with them again. Or I even go back to Elton and that. It was great in the episode, but I'm not interested in seeing what happens next or seeing them come back or anything like that. They just didn't have that.
But I don't think that was an acting thing. I think they all acted it to what they were told to do.
But I suppose
they're and then we bonded, and then they have them on a circle, and they're all like, la, 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 la. And I just thought, you can tell they've bonded. Why are you playing it in such a, and now look, we've bonded.
A sort of montage of them getting on and having food and stuff.
You don't need that sort of stuff. But then, and then when it said, and I realised the nice moment was when it showed that sort of montage more of showing back to what's her name, and he was like, and I realised there was someone I cared about, and we had that montage showing. That was a nice moment. That didn't feel actually that cheesy.
Yeah. Ursula.
Ursula, thank you.
We haven't really talked about her, have we?
No. Well, there's not really a lot to say.
Well, I mean, she ends up as a face in a slab of stone. We have to talk about her because she gets saved.
Here she is.
Could be worse. At least I'll never age. And it really is quite peaceful. You'd be surprised.
It's a relationship of sorts. We manage. We've even got a bit of a love life.
Oh, let's not go into that.
They have a love life, it's been said.
I mean, that's a very controversial line there. That has gone down in history, that moment. Should that be in a family show or not?
But that's what I mean.
But that sums up the whole tone of the episode.
But that's what I mean. I don't think you'd have even thought about that line if it hadn't been played to such slapstick the whole way through. It almost feels like a terribly jokey line because this whole thing's been played in this weird slapstick way.
It's not, I'm sorry everyone, it's not my favourite story. I understand why people like it and I understand why people don't like it.
I can completely understand why it's a Marmite.
Actually, my favourite bit, I really love Rose's hair is different in this one. Maybe it's because it was the end towards the end. Although she's got it sort of different, sort of tied back into Anyway, I always think her outfit and her hair, you never see her look like that in any of the other series. She looks completely different here. Maybe because it's probably she's coming in on a day off or something. But she looks great here. It's my favourite Rose look, actually.
Yeah.
In this story. There you go.
Put it up
There's a
for,
positive.
The catwalk.
I'll have to find a way of describing it, but she just looks different in this one. But it's nice that she comes back and, defends her mum and everything. And
yeah. And also that was a great way of bringing it about. Like, you upset my mum.
Yeah, it's great. And Jackie's brilliant. Comedy value there in all of that.
But that's where the comedy that's what Jackie brings. Jackie always brings that. That's where the comedy was. You don't need it. You didn't need it in the other places. You can still have that because you have it with Jack. That's what Jackie brings. It really annoyed me. I don't know if you can tell.
Okay, we'll put that down. The run around Scooby-Doo's worst moment. We'll put that down, everyone. Make a note. Make a note of that. But there we go. There we are. That's a controversial one done, everyone. It'd be in my mind, it's always the Jacob's Antiques episode. In my mind.
Yeah.
Because they're in there so much in that room. Well, then we get a preview of next week. I mean, it was. You don't remember? No, you don't remember. Anyway, it's called Fear Her.
I honestly can't remember. It was a week ago.
Okay. Anyway, well, it's called Fear Her. That's all I'm going to say then.
Yeah.
Great.
When it starts, I'll remember, but it was a week ago.
It's another, not controversial one this time. It's another one with a bad reputation.
Okay.
Probably worse than Love and Monsters.
Really?
I'm just going to say, people, just because it's just a bad episode, that's what people think.
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe it's been reevaluated. I'm talking like 20 years fan opinion here, but I would say Fear Her is not on anyone's top 10. If I get that survey from Doctor Who magazine, I'm betting you it's in like the bottom section. So, and I think Love and Monsters was probably ended up in the bottom section as well. Should check that really.
Yeah, you should.
So we've gone off a bit.
And
after the high of,
it's just one story, is it?
It's just one episode, yeah. It's just one episode. Oh, we did have a Torchwood reference in Love and Monsters as well.
We did. Yeah, we did. I can't remember what it was now, but we did. I do remember hearing that.
I think, what's his name?
Oh, I think he says the Torchwood Files, doesn't he?
Yeah, the Torchwood Files, yeah. Okay, then, there we are. Well, we've all caught up. Everybody.
Back on track.
We are back on track. We are only one episode ahead each after being like recording loads.
Yeah, we were like 3 or 4 ahead, and now we're 1 ahead.
As of today, we are, well, we needed one for next week. So we're trying to catch up, everyone. But in the meantime, you can follow us on the social medias at 2WatchWho. And actually, can I say, I did mean to say this at the beginning, social media stuff, I haven't posted tons and tons recently. I just haven't been on very much because I took Twitter off my phone, so I haven't been doing Twitter. And then Blue Sky, I will get back on it, everyone. Apologies. Christy, especially, always posts to us on there and looks out for us. So hello. And hello, everyone that has been in touch.
Twitter. You can't even tag me on Twitter anymore. I've deleted my account.
Well, just for 2WatchWho, I might put it back on my phone just so everyone's sort of there. I will get back onto regular posting.
I can't do Instagram because Mark has forgotten the password.
Wait, you say that every time. You say that every time. Okay, I'll find it out. But it will be there soon, everyone, on social media. And also, because I went on Facebook the other day, and I don't know what it was. I followed like, I don't know, some band or something. It was just like a thing that I just followed for ages. And I think they have been like hacked or something because all it was just tons of posts.
Away we go.
This like woman like jogging and sort of moving her tits around, and then it was her on her bed like just jogging, doing her tits around. It was just tons of this woman just jiggling her tits in different places, and I've muted it and I've like unfollowed, and it still comes up with this woman jiggling her tits. And it was just, and I'm like,
Mark, please keep this in the podcast. Do not delete this, whatever you do.
It was, I'm like, I've unmuted and I go on it. It's just this woman like jumping up and down. So it might take a bit of time to stop on, I don't know, the algorithm or whatever. It's just this woman. But there's like loads of people who put like angry emojis because it was like, I don't know what it was.
Well, that's what happened with Elmo. Elmo got hacked, didn't he, on Twitter?
Did he?
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's really bad. It was really bad. Like, Elmo got hacked on Twitter, posted loads of, like, horrific stuff. Like, loads of stuff about, like, Jewish people, about, like, racist stuff. Right? And then, obviously, was hacked. But people still are commenting about, like, you said this stuff, Elmo, but he was hacked.
Yeah, but like Elmo from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, you can't blame Elmo for being hacked.
Well, people have. And they put like a thing out about like days later being like Elmo loves everyone, and like they didn't say he was hacked, but then because they haven't referenced the hacking, they put like, oh, Elmo's back or something like that. Elmo loves everyone or something. They're like, this isn't good enough. Like, yeah, it was really bad.
I mean, they need to say he was being hacked. They can't just say, oh, that was his opinion.
Yeah, but Elmo lives in like this world of love, doesn't he? So therefore to reference a hack would be therefore to reference Elmo. Like, I don't think Elmo would know the word hacking, would he?
No, probably not. No.
Because Elmo isn't. They've all been deleted, obviously. They deleted things. But because the character of Elmo...
Yeah.
I think Sesame Street account might have put something else out, but Elmo's account hasn't.
Right.
Elmo is like a 5-year-old.
Right.
Isn't he? He's supposed to be like a 5-year-old.
Hang on. Can I just clarify? The woman jiggling her tits did have a top on. I'm just saying she wasn't. I just thought I'd just clarify. It was just like. I just want to let everyone know that that's like what it was.
That's what Mark's watching. Like, okay.
I'm just saying it came. I don't think she's come up today now. It's all right. But no, she was like clothed. I just want to say.
Mark living in fear of his own.
Anyway, I think that was the end of the podcast.
I think it is. I definitely think that's the end of the podcast.
We'll see you all next week, everyone, for Fear Her. Bye.
Bye.
To watch who?
I can't find it. Oh, stop.